Radical.
Welcome to Flea Market Stories, documenting one man's journey into the world of flea marketing. This is going to be kind of short. In fact, I want to devote more of my time to maybe trying to get caught back up on Radical Rapid Fire. And so these might be a slow trickle into the future. Also, working back in the Goodwill show, Shop Goodwill auctions, I like doing that a little bit more than these. It's just a little funner for me. So I'm just going to slow down on these flea market stories for the moment, unless there's some big moments or a couple things I want to talk about in detail. Just a weekly recaps. That's kind of too much. It's too much already. Running a flea market video game store, but then to do recaps on top of that. What I want to talk about today is the possibility that my main assistant may not be back. He basically said that his family is moving about 2 hours away from me, and he may not even be allowed. I think it's like 1920, something like that. He may not be allowed to drive the family car 2 hours to come down on Sundays. He would always be my assistant on Sundays. And I told him that's kind of a bummer, because, good guy, low-key became a friend. Good fella, gave me a lot of help at the store, and I gave him discounts on game stuff, usually like a half off or something like that. So it was a kind of a good partnership going to where he would come by, he would help with maybe translation because he speaks Spanish. He would help maybe with setup and breaking down stuff and whatnot. Very, very helpful. And I thought, well, he gets to come here and he gets to hang around. He gets to play whatever games he wants to. He gets discounts on the games from me. And I thought that was enough. I thought that was enough. But he had different expectations, I believe, for what was going to happen, what was going on. His expectations, I think, meaning he was wanting like a paid position. And maybe that's what he, told his mother, that he was going to come and help somebody at the game store. He mentioned that, the first time I saw him, which was last weekend, I said, "Hey, man, good to see you. I got some game stuff set up, if you want to go over there and play some games." And he was like, he just said kind of like no. And his demeanor was like a little different. So when someone's there in any capacity, that's what I usually say, because I got my own stuff I'm doing. I might just be on the phone searching up game prices, might be labeling stuff. An assistant, if there's not people to assist, it's just kind of like awkward silence, because I'm not really a big talker in the mornings, not so much. I'm kind of sleepy usually, just trying to wake up. And, that usually does work. Or I just send him over to play some games to the left. And I really kind of forget that morning. I think he did wind up going to play some game, but I forget what it was eventually. But his demeanor seemed different. And he mentioned that I might not be able to see him there again. He may not be back. I was like, you'll probably be back in the future. And he's like, nah, I might not be back because my family's moving. And then he mentioned how his mother talked about how he comes there and helps him, but I don't pay him. And then at that moment, I realized that, man, maybe I've been kind of a heel. Maybe I've not really kind of saw that he wanted to. I mean, the dude idolizes me. He really does. He talks about how he goes to different game stores, and he mentions that he's an assistant at the flea market game store. He's proud of it, right? He's proud to be my assistant. And I'm thinking, did I pump him up too much? Did I, give his hopes up too much? When I'm trying to just be very, complimentary and say, hey, this is my main assistant, because he was, right? Just when it comes down to it, I was explaining how I think I'd change the subject, but if he asked further, I'd say, well, business is just what it is right now. And unless I was making $500, $600, $700, a weekend, and even then, I mean, what would I even pay an assistant? Like an hourly wage? Like what, like $10 an hour? That's not going to happen. Well, like $10, $15 an hour for 5 hours there. But what if I have a day where I only make $100? I mean, great for him because he's just like sitting there and it's not like a GameStop where you have like a whole lot of stuff to do. It's a 12 by 12 spot. So I tell him to kind of pump the brakes to where, like, even though he's helpful, and there were certain days where I was like, pre-L-glutamine, I was having stomach issues, not feeling that good. So don't get me wrong, certain days, a couple days, it was incredibly helpful that he was there. Incredibly helpful. But don't get it twisted. I can run things myself. It's a 12 by 12 spot. And I could take care of things. I could micromanage things myself there. I don't need an assistant. I don't need any assistance running that place, but it's a bonus. Plus also, it's not like he's the only person there that assists me sometimes. There's another guy, the moped guy. He's assists me sometimes. He's there a little more frequently here lately. There's this one guy who I wish I could remember his name, but he comes there and he plays fairly often. Like he's there like this past weekend. He was there maybe like 4 out of the 5 hours I was there. He wound up playing and buying Left 4 Dead, the first Left 4 Dead. And if I wanted to, not that I will, but I could. I don't want to though. Like I could have an army of assistants if I wanted to, because I think of all the people that come there and play games regularly. I could have any of these people assist me. Customers, I could turn them into half assistants, give them deals on games and stuff. I could do that. I could offer somebody just a game to help me for a day if I wanted to. I'm in that position where I could do that. It's cheaper for me to offer somebody a game that I got in a bundle that I have $30 on that I paid maybe $2 or $3 for than it is for me to pay somebody an hourly wage. I guess I should be flattered that, he sees it as a very serious store, even though it's 3 tables, man. Make it look like a store, but it's 3 tables and some TVs and some game systems. I do what I can with it. I should feel flattered that he goes around bragging that he's an assistant at a game store. I should be. And I am, right? I just wish more people would see it like that. Even though the reality is, just a guy trying to do my best. That's all I am. Just a guy trying to get sales there. Making the best of my 12 by 12 spot, making the best of my Chevy Impala. Working my magic to fit a game store into a Chevy Impala.